Hello everybody, my name is Leo and with this video we share a demo review of the TC Electronic Ampworx JIMS 45. First of all, we will hear the unit in action with the demo song, then we will describe the unit in details, sharing all its main features and characteristics, then we will hear more sounds in a dedicated section of this video, and finally I will give you my 2 cents. So, I hope you enjoy and please subscribe and ring the bell, as it would really help me to make more videos like this. Let's start with the demo song. Let's describe the unit. First of all, the JIMS 45 is part of a family of devices just launched by TC Electronic and dedicated to very famous tube amps. The Combo Deluxe 65 is a recreation of a Fender Deluxe Reverb, the DC30 is obviously a Vox, and then we have the JIMS 45, which is a twin-channel guitar preamp that recreates, in a tiny pedal, the sound of a 1965 Marshall JTM 45 tube amp, also including a booster. On the back of the unit, and in terms of I/O, we have an input for the guitar and an output with only the sound of the preamp and without any cabinet simulation, to be used with an external IR loader or in the effect loop return of your amp. Then there is the DI output that provides also the simulation of a Celestion cab sim, I mean a 4x12 G12M Greenback, and actually this is a pretty strange choice, as typically these type of units offer a switcher to be used to activate or deactivate the cabinet simulation, using just one output. But with this design we have a pro. Basically we can use at the same time both the outputs, for instance in order to record at the same time the sound of the amp plus cab and the pure preamp, to be able to modify the cabinet section in post. Another possibility is to send one out to the effect return of your amp, for instance for monitoring purposes, and the other one to the mixing desk. So this is a pretty handy solution that other units in the same price range or in the same category of this unit does not offer. Then we have a USB mini port to be used for firmware upgrades only. In fact, this device cannot be used as an audio interface. Furthermore, on the side of the unit we have an headphone output just for silent practicing, and this is basically all in terms of I/O. Still, on the back of the unit we have a very tiny presence knob. While here, I think that this knob is here and therefore pretty uncomfortable to be used, as TC engineers think that the presence is set up just at the beginning of your experience with the pedal and then rarely changed. We have then a switcher to be used to decide whether the booster is before the amp or after. If it is before the amp, it acts as a normal booster. I mean, adding overdrive and distortion to your tone, pushing the front end of the amp. If it is in post, it just acts as a volume. For instance, to push a little bit your tone for a lead part. Coming to the front of the unit, we have the standard bass, mid and high frequencies knobs. Then we have the two volumes associated to the normal and bright channel of the amp, like a real plexi. The last knob is called level, and it has to be used simply to set the overall volume of the unit. Let's now describe the two foot switches. The unit has two foot switches with two foot switch modes that are called dual channel mode and bypass mode. In dual channel mode, the channel foot switch will toggle between the green and the red channel of the model amp, and therefore in this mode this pedal is always on. The green channel is based on the original amp's circuit with a master volume set at 50% added after the tone stack, where the red channel, on the other hand, is the original amp's stock circuit, which did not have a master volume control. But what the bypass mode offers? In this mode, the channel foot switch will toggle the pedal on-off. That's all. And please notice that the last channel you had selected when in dual channel mode is the one that will be active when the pedal is active in bypass mode. If we press both foot switches simultaneously, we can change between the foot switch modes. Summarizing, we can choose to run a normal plexi or a modded one, or to have the possibility to switch on and off the pedal. The green amp is modded, having also a master volume, where the red is the original design, which does not have a master volume. It seems harder and more complicated than it is in reality, as after some time spent with the pedal you get used. Let's now talk about latency. Both in green mode or in red mode, with the booster switched on or off, the unit stays at 1.8 milliseconds of latency. So here we have a very good latency value, even if not completely at the same level of some of its contenders, like the Newix Amp Academy or the Strymon Iridium. If you want more info about latency, you can check out the video in the card above, where I have compared the latency of 23 amp modelers. The unit runs at 9 volts and 300 milliamperes, and the price is just 160 euros. Therefore, it is pretty affordable, I have to say. Let's now hear the tones extracted from the demo song. Final considerations here, and please notice that I have purchased this unit with my own money, and this video is not sponsored, therefore I'm free to tell you whatever I want. Here we have one of those cases where it is really difficult to talk about pros and cons. Why? Well, because of the price. 160 bucks is such a good price that it is hard to find cons. As someone can always say, but Leo, for the price, what do you want to have? What do you want more? Now, in terms of pros, I would mention its compactness, of course, the price, and the double output, as I think it's a pretty clever solution that can be used in many situations. For instance, when you record, you can record at the same time two tracks, one with the cabinet simulation and the other one without it, so that you can add while mixing the cabinet you want. Or, if you are jigging, you can send one out to your mixing desk and the other one to the effect return of your amp. It's pretty handy, where typically the other units allows you to switch on and off the cabinet simulation, but using the same output socket. In terms of cons, I would mention the missing XLR out, as if you need to run long cables to go into a mixing desk, you may be losing some sound quality. And then I would mention that even with the booster and the volumes maxed out, I feel I miss some support for my leading tones. Typically with the real plexi maxed out, I don't need any more gain, while here I feel I need to push further the tone with an external overdrive. Now, if we look at the competitors, we have the NUX Amp Academy at 199 or the Strymon Iridium at 419. I wouldn't mention the Universal Audio UAFX as they don't offer a Marshall SIM so far. If you look at the Amp Academy, well, you get much more, as you have more amps, more effects, and more flexibility, more in general. And if you look at the Strymon, well, with the JIMS 45, you spend much less on paper, but actually the Iridium offers 3 amp simulations. Actually, to do a proper comparison, we should compare all the 3 Ampworx amps together versus the Iridium. And doing so, we would end up spending 480 bucks, therefore more than with the Iridium. So at the very end, if you look at the competition, it's kind of hard to suggest the JIMS 45. With few more bucks, with the NUX Amp Academy you get much more options. And buying the Iridium is like having all the 3 Ampworx amps together. And if you buy all the 3 pedals, you end up spending more than the Iridium. The use case for this unit is maybe someone who just wants that specific Marshall JTM 45 tone and nothing more, and does not want to spend just few bucks more to get the Academy. Unless, obviously, you think that the JIMS 45 sounds better compared to the Academy or the Iridium. But well, this is a topic for another video. Please let me know your opinions about this unit in the comment section below, as I really think that all your comments and suggestions enhance a lot the values of these videos, and together we can help other guitarists to make the right purchase decision according to their needs. Thank you so much for watching and see you soon. Bye bye.